Okay, can you see now?
No, it typically take a few minutes or maybe yeah, 1 minute or two.
No.
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay. All right, and then did you look at the PDF file?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay, okay. So basically, this Python file right here, this class file is what it was called in the assignment. All of this code was
This
given
is,
to us.
yeah, I understand. This is from HA4 already. Yes,
Oh, HA4, yeah, it's
slightly
almost,
modified. Yeah.
yeah, but this was given to us by professor basically, so I didn't really have to make any modifications to this.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay, all right. And so this is the GUI one.
Okay.
So basically, the way I did this is the professor did a similar example to this. So after I figured out how to do like one of the buttons, then it was easy to figure out how to do the rest because it was a similar process. You see, all of these are the same, and then this one was this T statement was similar to one that we had last time, where if you raise the exception, then it's going to give the item not found, and then similar to this one over here.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I was able to do it by looking at like examples and then figuring it out because a lot of this was similar methods to each other.
Okay, so can you run it? Let me see it.
Yes. And I'm just gonna do for now. I'm just gonna do search by title.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of them, and then this is it.
Okay, and then when you go to the menu, then it will show you again. Okay.
Yeah. So then I'll do this is another keyword, and then this shows up.
Okay, and okay. So, where did the text box disappear? Or it's up?
Oh, it's right here. Oh, you can't see it?
No?
Oh, that's weird. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now, but yeah, go to the search by keyword.
Okay.
Okay, again.
Now can you see it?
No, it disappears. So it means that once you show the results, then
Yeah, then it doesn't show you on the Zoom for some reason.
oh, but it's still appearing on your.
Yes, it shows for me.
Okay, but then why the? I mean, uh, it's slightly different because typically you should always show the results after below the main menu button, but you're not at the moment. So you see here this one, this code actually should come here.
Okay.
So I mean, did you change? Show me the code for that portion. That's quite yeah, it's
Oh, the
interesting.
one like so the portion of this code that the professor gave?
I know. I mean, that's your code.
Yeah, no, but what was the question that you asked?
So I want to see where did you put the code arrangement for this kind of screen?
Like this setup?
And
Or
no, for the next.
for this?
This happened
Oh,
after you press the next. So
where did I see that? Oh, after that was on the PDF file. That was
and no, dear, because okay, so
let me see.
you have two buttons, right? Next and main menu.
Correct.
When you press next, okay, yeah. So here, no, I mean, don't just press anything. Wait, give me a second.
Yeah,
So
sure.
you see, you have two buttons here, right? And
Yeah.
then once you press next, uh, there should happen, there's some code in next that will show your results here, right? So once you start showing the result here, the arrangement of the next button and the main menu button should remain the same, and the result should
Oh, I see
appear
what you're
here.
saying.
But
I see what you're saying.
once you do what you're doing now, the main button comes down, and then this results come up. So that's why I slightly interested to see how it looks like.
I see. Okay, I understand what you're saying now.
And
So what?
also, let me understand also. So this function is I didn't see it in the code that you give to me. Is it you created on your own?
This one was yes.
So okay, so it means, because yeah, I didn't see it here at all. Yeah, I don't see it here. So it means that it's not in the code that is given by your professor, I
I
believe.
can. Yeah, it's not.
So okay, aha.
So yeah, I'm not sure because even for this file, he gave like the method names, but the last one wasn't here. So I can take it out and we can run it.
Yeah, but if you take it out, then your code, your part of your code will not run, because you are calling it from the next button. I can see
Oh
that
yeah.
now.
Oh, I see.
So never mind. Just see. Let me see first what you're doing here in the next button.
Okay,
Let
sure.
me try to. Yeah. So keyword next. Okay. Um, self results. Okay, that's interesting part. Okay, search criteria. Good. So if results. Hmm. Can you explain to me what you're doing here?
Which part? Yeah, so this part was kind of difficult too because if it's an instance of that, then it gets inside of results. But
Okay. Yeah,
if
but
else,
okay. So that's interesting part. But the point here, I think this is exactly the same thing that I wanted to comment to you about. So in your code, can you go back to the code that the professor shared with you? This one, HA4 class, the one that, yes. So in this portion, if you go up, please go up. Oh yeah, to the search part. So I want you to notice one thing here.
mhm,
Uh, so in your code, the one that you submitted on your own,
yes.
you are returning. You are actually returning an array. It's true. You are returning an array, and
Mhm,
and you base your new code that you was returning an array. But actually here the guy is not returning an array. The guy. So okay. Just notice one thing. So this is
mhm,
an if statement. Okay,
yeah,
and here he's looping through the list of books. So suppose we have 4 books, right? So 4 books, and they are all saved in the list. So we have an array that contain 4 elements or 4 rows, and for each row, for each book in the list of books, we are going to do this code. Okay, and
yeah,
this code is actually looking to search for the key inside a single book title, so when it returns only one book. It doesn't
mhm,
return an array.
okay. So it's supposed to, you're supposed to define an array and it's supposed
No,
to
no, no, no,
append.
no, no. I mean, so they are here. I mean, no. What I want to say is that you define in your answer. Um, I don't know if I can share with you. I'm afraid if I share with you, then you will not be able to. It will take you some time to them. Never mind. Just stop sharing on your side.
Okay, I can see your screen.
Okay. So And this is typically what you answered here. So in your answer, you said if you want to search for keyword, let me see. No, yeah, that's part of your answer, but not the one that I want to share with you. Not this one, not this one, not this one. Yeah, this one. So although here I didn't put for you, I didn't make it clear the portion of your code that you and let me see. No, I should share with you the code. It's more clearer to do so.
Okay.
So let's see. I think this is the one. This one. Yeah. Okay. So okay, this is your code. Okay. So what you did here, I want you to notice the difference between your code and your professor code. Yes.
Okay.
So here you are defining an array. You are not doing any for loop. You just so when the search criteria is k, then you go directly here, and then you make this kind of list of comprehension, and you try to loop through the self on your own here, and then you try to so the result in summary here, what you are doing is you are retaining an array, a list, actually a list of books. Okay.
Yes.
And there is nothing wrong, except that this is not the one required. He doesn't ask you to return a list of books. He asks you to, because if you look at it, we don't have two books with the same name. We only have every book have a unique title.
Yes, that's true.
And every book have a unique ISBN. Okay, so it doesn't make any sense for us to actually return a list, because we know very well that we only have to return one book, because there is only one book with one title.
I see.
Okay, so the point here, when I mean, and this is clear from your professor code, so there is no point to return results. And also another strong point here also in this specification for the assignment, they ask you to return false. So it means that you are here always returning the results, but sometimes the result will be false. That's why you can never, with the code arrangements that you have, you can never raise an exception, because you will always have to return an array. Sometimes the array can be empty, sometimes it can be full, but there is no way that you can return false. You don't return false. Typically, I should write here. So if I was you in this case, assuming that the code is correct, you should write here return here instead of results like this, and then here you should return false. So if this condition is satisfied and we are searching for k, and then if we find anything, we should return the thing that we find. If not, and then we reach at that point, we should always return false. This is exactly the code that your professor shared. So that's why let me share the code again that is shared by your professor. So if you see here, so your professor shared that you should return false if you didn't return from any of these conditions. So if any of this condition is satisfied and you return the book, it's gone already. You already returned the book already. But if you didn't execute any of those, then you will come here and return false. This is a trick, actually. This is a kind of programming trick. So they don't have to put if else, or if we turn the book, then we don't return false. No. So they assume that here, if any of this satisfied, you already return. Return means that you already exit the whole function.
Wait, could you say what was the trick again?
The trick here is that in the normal conditions, when I was learning programming, so I would say, okay, if I return a book, if book if so I would say I define a variable here with the result. So I name a variable result, and then I say result equal book without putting the return here. Okay, and then at the end of the code, I will say if the result got something, it means that I already assign it to a book, then I will return the book. If not, then I will return false. So that, but again, this trick, that the way that you're doing it here, it actually saves some, it saves you some code. It saves you some lines of code. And instead of putting if statements at the end to be able to decide which one you return, you
Oh,
return a
I see.
book or return a false.
What
So
you're saying is that it can save a lot of code too.
yes, exactly. So here the trick, when you find a result, just immediately return. Forget about the remaining of the function. So here, if you find a result, if this if statement is satisfied and is executed, and we go inside the if statement here, so it means that we return something out of the function. And it means also that nothing here will be executed. Once I return, it means that I exit the whole function. I'm not executing any of the code after the return.
Yes.
So this is the trick that he's using. So he depends that he will never reach return false unless none of these codes is executed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And in your condition, you never put return false. That's the difference between your code and they specify clearly that you should return false. So that's why. Um, I don't want to keep repeating that part, since I already cleared it, unless you're really missing something from what I said.
No, this part makes sense.
Okay. So
I had another question. This is about, I was looking over some code. Could you bring up that HA4 of my assignment really quickly?
yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, that's one here.
So it's in the, could you scroll up just a little bit? Okay, so it's in the novel class and in the sci-fi class. This thing, it's called the star with the args. That was mentioned by a professor, but I forgot what it's used for. And then if you could explain that again.
So in general, I'm not sure. I mean, typically, I'm not sure how you manage to use it here in this way. But
Yeah.
args is actually consider a list of parameters that you're going to pass. So args typically is passed even without your movie. So args is a list of parameters that you pass. It means that it's an array. So
Okay.
when you pass args like that, it means that now let me write something here. So if you let me assume that you are calling novel. So if you call novel, and then you should pass to it maybe title, and then maybe ISBN, and maybe other things. Okay, so the point here is that when you put args the way you put it now, like this, so it means that everything you pass here, we call it args.
Okay.
Okay.
So is it just like number of arguments?
You can say a list of arguments.
Okay.
So it will gather everything that you put in here. It would put it in a list that is called args.
I see.
Okay. So
Okay.
but then you want to access this list, then you have to use args 0 to get the first one. Then if you want to get the second item in the list, you have to put 1. So in this case, since you are passing, for example, so let me see here. Okay, so these args refer to title, and this second refer to ISBN.
Okay.
And if there is a third one, it will refer to to the third one here. So args is just short for a number of parameters that you are passing. Okay, so
Okay.
if you don't want to write, but in your case, I'm not sure if it is the correct usage here, because again, you don't args refer to all the parameters, but then you're passing it also a single parameter like that. So that's that can be slightly confusing, but in general, what we do is that we pass here a lot of things and we refer to them as args. So
Okay.
we kind of insert all the parameters here into a list with the name args, and then we can access single elements using this way. It's slightly confusing, I know, because
Yeah.
that is not this kind of asterisk and parameter is never used in other parts of the code except that
Exactly.
part. So I understand it's slightly confusing, but and normally you will use it only if you are passing parameter to your code. So how you run your code now, you press the play button and then it runs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but there is another way that you can call your code. So you can call your code from this command line.
Yeah.
So and when you call your code from the command line, actually you can pass parameters to your code. So at the moment you are calling it with no parameters, but
Oh, I remember I did something similar in JavaScript where you had to do command line like process argv, which is similar because it also does it.
yes, exactly. And
Okay.
yes, and also that was used in C++ also. So it's yes. So you can pass a parameters, and then he take all these parameters as and he put it in an array or a list, and then you can exit it and one by one in this way. So
Okay.
that's how it works.
Okay. I
Typically,
see.
this is the main initial usage of it. But of course, he can use it in any function he wants.
Okay. I see.
Okay, so
Yep.
okay, do you have anything here more? Because
Okay.
I want you I want to make sure that you already understand one thing also here, other than so you somehow used to me. Okay, if I would like to comment here, uh, so you used something like that here. You created also an array, and you pass it
Oh,
the list of books, and the novels, and um, uh, this other type of I think movies, yeah, kind of movies.
yeah.
Okay, so the difference that you have and your professor have in the code is that actually you don't need that one. Because why? Because when you use the array that you created, you actually somehow miss the point of from creating an array. Because you didn't create an array here. I understand now why you do that. So if you look at your professor code, let me see here. Yeah. So if you see your professor code, you will figure out that you have
Oh,
you have actually a list here, and this list. So every time you create a book, either a novel or sci-fi, so you add it here automatically. It's automatically added. So
I
and that is the part of the code that is responsible for it. So it means that you automatically have a class variable that you can access just only by using the class name, and then you say book dot all books. Then you are able to access all the list of novels and library items that you already added here
okay.
without the need to create a new arrays.
I see.
So okay, so it means simply that yeah, he's not mentioning the code here, but if I go back to your code here, so every time he comes here, every time he calls the instructor of the novel, this novel will call the superclass, which is book, and automatically add its novel to the internal array.
Okay.
Okay, that's why you never need to use that kind of
Could you explain that part again? You say you don't need to, with the part with the novel?
So when you create the novel here, so we have inside the constructor of the novel, we have the init, right?
Yeah.
We have this define init, which is a constructor, and inside it, we passed some parameters. It's fine now for that, but inside here, you calling. So do you see that part? Do you see what I created here?
Yeah.
So this is happens when you call the constructor of the novel. So that's this line actually calls the constructor with certain parameters. So you pass the parameters here, and then you call the super. The super is responsible for what? You're responsible for calling the base class. What is the
Yes.
base class in this case is a book. Okay, and if you look at the book, in your code here you didn't put it, but if I so here you call super, right? And
Yeah.
inside, and when you call super, it actually come here. It calls that line to call the constructor of the base class, which is a book, because again, so here this is we have a base class book, right? So once we call this part, there is a line missing that you didn't put here. This line is responsible for adding self, or the details of our class inside an array here, inside a class array. A class array, it means that it maintains itself. So we have to close and open again.
Okay.